You need to bring order to your life, and that starts with a decision. When everything piles up, tasks, thoughts, feelings, expectations, you get that sensation that life is out of control. That's not weakness, and it's not failure. It's simply a sign that it's time to stop, breathe, and find your direction again. And this is where Stoicism comes in. Bringing order to life is not just about organization, it's about inner alignment. It's about consciously and freely deciding who you are and what you came here to do. For that, you don't need more pressure. You need strategy, strength of spirit, and clarity about what truly matters. Today, I'll show you 9 Stoic strategies that can change the way you think, act, and live. Not theoretically, but in a practical, real, and transformative way. And if this is the turning point you've been waiting for, write in the comments, "Today, I put my life in order like a Stoic." That phrase is more than a comment. It's a promise to yourself, a choice made by someone who's tired of disorder and ready to take back control. Before we start, I just ask you, like, comment, share, and subscribe, so this video reaches more people who are also seeking clarity. Let's begin. Strategy 1. Choose to be free, not submissive. Have you ever realized that certain things have more control over you than you'd like to admit? No matter how disciplined you are, there's always something that seems to have a strange power over your actions. It's like you're driving your own car, but the steering wheel insists on turning on its own. You try to stay on course, but something silently sabotages you. That's what an addiction does. And it's not always a big or obvious addiction. Sometimes it's just that automatic urge to grab your phone for no reason, or the uncontrollable desire to eat something sweet after lunch even when you're not hungry, or the habit of having a glass of wine every night until, without realizing it, you can't go a single evening without it. Physicist Richard Feynman had a moment like this. One day, going from one class to another, he felt an overwhelming desire for a drink. He wasn't an alcoholic, but that feeling of not being in control scared him. He realized alcohol had more power over him than he was willing to accept, and he decided to stop. Former U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower went through something similar. He was a compulsive smoker with a habit of 4 packs of cigarettes a day. After a heart attack, his doctor told him he had to quit. He firmly replied, "I gave myself the order to stop." And he did. It wasn't that he suddenly developed willpower overnight. It was that he understood cigarettes were in charge, and he decided to take that power back. The Stoics teach us that true power lies in the ability to say no. If you can't resist something, you're not in control. It's controlling you. And the problem isn't just with obvious addictions like cigarettes, alcohol, or gambling. It's in those small daily things that quietly take away your time, attention, and freedom. Ask yourself, what do I feel I need to feel okay? Morning coffee? My phone before bed? That dessert after dinner? Now imagine you simply didn't need it. That's real freedom, knowing you could do it, but you don't have to. The solution isn't just to quit, it's to regain control. Start small. Pick one habit you feel is controlling you and test yourself for the next 7 days. If you can't start the day without coffee, cut it down to half a cup. If your phone is the problem, leave it in another room at night, or set a 30-minute reminder for Facebook or Instagram. This isn't punishment. It's a strategy to get your power back. As Epictetus said, no man is free if he cannot master himself. Do you want to be free, or stay a prisoner of your own desires? The choice and the power are yours. Strategy 2. Turn stagnation into action. Have you ever felt surrounded by too many things, yet empty inside? Like everything around you is heavy, messy, and confusing, and it drains your energy, focus, and direction. Think about your closet, full of clothes you don't wear anymore, and every time you open it all you see is disorder. That external mess starts to mess with your mind too. Now imagine opening that same closet and seeing only the essentials. Clothes you love, that fit well, that makes sense. Do you feel the difference, the lightness, the clarity, the peace? The problem with accumulating isn't just a lack of space, it's the invisible weight it puts on your mind. A University of California study proved it. Cluttered environments raise cortisol, the stress hormone. The more you accumulate, the more threatened, tired, and overloaded your mind feels. Epictetus said, "A man can only lose what he possesses." The real problem isn't losing something, it's living in constant fear of losing it. And that fear comes from attachment. The illusion that you need all those things to be someone, to have worth, to feel safe. But honestly, if you lost half your stuff tomorrow, would your life really be worse? Or would you just have less mess to deal with? Minimalism isn't about living with as little as possible. It's about freeing physical and mental space for what truly matters. Too many things overload your mind. It's like trying to walk with a backpack full of rocks. You can move forward, but the weight slowly wears you down. So why not start now? Grab a bag and go through a drawer or closet. Ask yourself, do I really need this? If not, get rid of it, donate it, sell it, or throw it away. Removing the excess opens space for mental clarity, lightness, and freedom. You're not defined by what you own. Your worth is in who you are, not what you have. Free yourself from the superficial and feel the difference in your mind and your life. Strategy 3. Free yourself from pain by learning to forgive. Holding a grudge is like holding a burning coal while waiting for the other person to get burned. At first, you think you're protecting yourself, that keeping the pain alive will give you some sort of advantage or sense of justice. But in reality, the only one getting burned is you. With every bitter memory, with every thought of revenge, it's as if you're squeezing that coal tighter, increasing the pain and damage until your hands are so wounded you can't even hold them in peace. Forgiving doesn't mean agreeing with what happened. It doesn't mean what they did was right, or that you have to let that person back into your life. It means letting go of the coal, choosing to free yourself. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you forgive, you're not freeing the other person from their responsibility. You're freeing yourself from the emotional prison that resentment built inside you. Years ago, I had a serious conflict with someone I considered a brother. I felt betrayed, and it consumed me. After a long time of feeding that resentment, I decided to send him a message. I apologized for anything I might have done wrong and opened the door to an honest conversation. "Do you know what happened?" "Nothing." He replied coldly and defensively, the kind of response that could have easily reignited my resentment. But something shifted inside me. I felt lighter. The weight I'd been carrying was gone because I had done my part. I took responsibility for my side of the story. I accepted that I can't control how others react. I can only control my own actions. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're slowly poisoning yourself instead. When you make peace, even if the other person doesn't respond the same way, you drop the weight and break the invisible chain tying you to the past. If there's someone you need to forgive, or someone you need to ask forgiveness from, do it today. Be direct, sincere, and humble. If they receive it well, great. If not, at least you'll have the peace of knowing you did your part. You can't control the outcome, but you can control your choice to make peace. Choose healing over hurting yourself. The past can't be changed, but the future is in your hands. Strategy 4. Not everything deserves space inside you. What you let into your life defines the quality of your days. If you let in trash, you can't expect good things to come out. It's like pouring a few drops of mud into a glass of clean water. No matter how much pure water is there, it's already contaminated. Many of us allow this kind of contamination in our lives. The news we consume, the profiles we follow, the WhatsApp groups full of complaints, all of this shapes what you feel and how you think. If you surround yourself with negativity, drama, pessimism, and chaos, your mind will reflect exactly that. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you associate with foolish people, don't expect wisdom to remain in you." And he was right. Constant contact with people who bring only drama, gossip, and complaints corrodes your peace of mind. It's like trying to keep a boat afloat while someone is drilling holes in it. Think about the last time you scrolled endlessly on Facebook or got caught in a controversial video. Did you feel happier afterward? Or just more anxious? How often have you finished watching the news feeling truly informed and at peace, or just angrier, more indignant, and more worried? You don't have to disconnect from the world or cut ties completely, but you do need to be intentional about what you consume. If someone calls you just to unload problems and complaints, why do you keep answering? If a group chat is only complaints and criticism, why stay in it? If a page posts nothing but useless gossip about other people's lives, why keep liking and commenting? Start filtering what enters your life. If something is draining you emotionally, close that door. You don't need to justify protecting your peace. If you want more mental clarity, more balance, and more motivation, start filtering what you let into your mind. Test it for a week. Mute negative profiles on social media, leave groups that make you feel heavy, and cut back on sensationalist news. Use that time to do something you enjoy, something for yourself. The quality of your life improves when you control what you let into your mind and heart, because if garbage comes in, garbage comes out, but the opposite is also true. If good influences come in, good decisions come out. You control that. Strategy 5. The essential is already enough. Out there, the world is full of things to do, emails to answer, calls to return, messages from friends you haven't replied to, house chores piling up, social media constantly pulling at your attention. And in the middle of this chaos are your dreams and goals, still waiting to be fulfilled. Only now they seem further away because your mind is overloaded. This has been true for centuries. In the time of the Stoics, people were also busy. Not with phone notifications and Zoom meetings, but with endless domestic responsibilities, social commitments, and the constant pressure to survive. The problem has never been the amount of tasks, it's the lack of clarity about what really matters. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what's essential." Most of what we do and say isn't essential. And when you cut the non-essential, what truly matters becomes clearer and easier to handle. The first step to putting your life in order is to remove the excess, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. This isn't only about organizing your space, it's also about cleaning up your schedule and your priorities. Do you really need to say yes to that meeting that could be solved with an email? Do you really have to accept that invitation to an event you know will leave you exhausted? Learning to say no is a form of self-respect. When you say yes to everything, you're saying no to yourself, your peace, and your mental energy. When you say no to something unnecessary, you're saying yes to your well-being, your family, and your growth. Seneca reminds us that the love of hurry is not productivity, it's restlessness of the mind. Many people spend the whole day busy, but achieve nothing meaningful. It's like running on a treadmill. You get tired, but don't go anywhere. The question is, what are you actually building with this desperate pace? If you stop doing half of what you do today, would anyone notice? Would the world notice? What would change in your life? Think about someone trying to improve their life, earn more, manage money better. They work hard, do overtime, try to save. But each month they fall into the avalanche of sales, ads, and special occasions. They start the year in debt because they bought Christmas gifts, threw a big party, and impulsively spent more than their budget allowed. Then January arrives with car insurance, property taxes, school supplies, increased health plan costs, and condo fees. Their paycheck is gone before the month ends, and the cycle repeats. The problem isn't lack of money, it's lack of clarity and priorities. That person doesn't need to earn more. They need to stop spending on what isn't essential. They need to learn to say no. Do you really need a new phone just because a newer model came out? Do you really need to order food 3 times a week because you don't have time to cook? Do you need to change your car now, or is it just social pressure? When you start saying no to the superficial, the essential appears. Not spending on something unnecessary could mean having money to invest, to build an emergency fund, or to finally take that course that could change your career. You need boundaries. Saying no isn't rude, it's necessary. You don't have to give a long excuse to decline an invitation or request. A simple, "No thank you," is enough. And here's what happens when you start saying no more often. You regain control of your life. You think more clearly, your priorities become visible, and you gain more time for what truly matters. You only have one life. Stop wasting it on things that don't move the needle. Start today. Say no to what drains you, and yes to what really makes a difference. Strategy 6. Start clearing away mental dust. Have you ever noticed how the day seems to leave you more weighed down? In the morning, you wake up feeling light and fresh. But by night, it's as if you're carrying the weight of 1,000 little things. The stress from work, an argument that came out of nowhere, an annoying comment on social media. All of it piles up like a layer of dust on you. Life is like that. You wake up clean, but end the day covered in emotional dirt. Just like your house floor needs to be swept daily, your mind also needs a way to clear off the emotional weight. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius said it was essential to wash off the dust of earthly life. And he wasn't talking about taking a shower. He meant practices that cleanse your mind and emotions. Think about it. Have you ever gone for a walk after a stressful day and returned feeling lighter? Or turned off your phone for an hour to be in silence, and suddenly your mind felt clearer? These small rituals are ways to wash off the emotional dust the world throws on you. The Stoics practiced this in many ways. Socrates enjoyed playing music and games to relax the mind. Seneca believed that leisure moments, like a peaceful meal or a deep conversation, restored emotional balance. Today, this could mean working out, walking outdoors, praying before bed, or having an honest conversation with a friend. These little pauses help you reset and regain balance. The mistake is thinking this should only happen during special occasions, like vacations, mountain retreats, or idyllic beaches. No, this cleansing needs to be daily, right where you are, because the world never stops throwing dust at you. So, what cleans your mind? It might be morning silence with your coffee, your gym session, a prayer, or even that hot shower after a hard day. The key is to have a simple system you can maintain that gives you that emotional rinse. You can't control what the world throws at you, but you can control how you clear it away. Start today. Pick one practice that helps you clean your mind and make it a habit, because without this daily cleansing, even the strongest mind will eventually become overloaded, and an overloaded mind will eventually break. Strategy 7. Peace lives in simplicity. Have you ever noticed how your mind feels lighter after a hot shower or a slow walk outside? It's like the day's heaviness runs off with the water. That feeling of cleanliness is not only physical, it's mental. When you allow yourself to disconnect from the frantic world and reconnect with something simple, like the sound of the wind or the smell of rain, you feel renewed. Too often we get trapped in suffocating routines. From bed to phone, phone to work, work to traffic, and back to bed. This is modern life, a chain of enclosed, noisy spaces that leaves you with a constant sense that something is missing. And something is missing. If you spend all day surrounded by screens, notifications, and tasks, your mind gets overloaded. It's like trying to breathe where there's no air. But something magical happens when you step out of that cycle, walking without rushing, feeling the sun on your skin, hearing the trees in the wind. That contact with nature clears your mind in a way no guided meditation can. I remember one afternoon when I decided to go for a walk with no destination. At first it seemed like just another attempt to escape routine, but after a few minutes I began to notice things I usually ignore: birdsong, the smell of freshly cut grass, the cool breeze on my face. When I got back home, I felt different, lighter, more centered, like my mind had been rearranged inside. Nature has that power. It's not just about going outside, it's about reconnecting with the essential. The Stoics spoke about living in harmony with nature because it reminds us of what truly matters. Your daily worries, your problems, even that conversation you've been avoiding for weeks, all look smaller when you're in contact with something bigger than yourself. If your mind feels too full, start with the simple things. Leave your phone at home and go for a walk. Take a moment to look at the sky, listen to the sounds of the street, smell a tree after the rain. You don't need a forest or a paradise beach to feel good. Just open yourself to what's around you. Beauty lives in simple things: the smell of fresh coffee, the steady sound of rain, footsteps on the sidewalk. When you stop to notice them, your mind slows down, and in that calm state, you find clarity. Seneca said, "Life is long enough if you know how to live it." Living well begins with small moments of presence. Give yourself that gift. Step outside, breathe, and let yourself feel the world. You'll return with a cleaner mind, a lighter spirit, and a new perspective on what really matters to you. Strategy 8. How you use your time defines your life. If it feels like days are passing too quickly, as if you're always running but never moving forward, the problem may not be a lack of time, but how you're using the time you already have. Ask yourself, where is my time going? If you answer honestly, the results may surprise you. How much time do you spend solving problems that could have been avoided with a little more organization? How many hours do you lose scrolling Instagram or watching short videos? Imagine your life as a budget. If you don't track where the money goes, it disappears quickly. Time works the same way, except it's non-renewable. What you waste today won't come back tomorrow. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Often, the issue isn't a lack of time, but an excess of distractions and unconscious decisions that consume your hours without you noticing. For example, have you ever picked up your phone just to check one message and suddenly 40 minutes have passed? Or gone to the store for one item and ended up spending an hour wandering the aisles? These little leaks seem harmless, but over time, they become massive holes in your productivity and your life. The solution is simple but powerful. Do a time audit. Spend one day observing exactly where your hours go. Write everything down, from how long you're on social media, to how long you take to reply to messages, to how much TV you watch. Once you see it on paper, the waste becomes obvious. Another powerful trick is the value test. Every time you're doing something, ask yourself, if I knew I only had 1 month to live, would I still spend my time on this? If the answer is no, it might be time to eliminate or replace that activity. Strategy 9. Build a life you don't need to escape from. Many people live counting down the days to the weekend, to vacation, to retirement, like life only happens in those brief escapes. But the Stoics believed life should be lived every day, not just in short breaks from a life you don't enjoy. If your daily routine drains you so much that you only feel alive when you're getting away, it's time to re-examine what you're doing. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job or move to a tropical island. It means finding ways to make your current life more aligned with what matters to you. Maybe it's redesigning your mornings so you have an hour for yourself before the world pulls at you. Maybe it's filling your free time with things that recharge you instead of just numbing the stress. Maybe it's creating work projects that feel meaningful instead of just tolerable. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." That's not a call to fear death. It's a call to stop postponing life. Don't wait for the weekend to feel at peace. Don't wait for a vacation to feel alive. Start building a life where peace, meaning, and purpose are part of every day, not something you have to run away to find.